Hey everyone, welcome to the Everyday Human podcast. My name is Easton Taverna. Each day I'll share a reflection written by me and inspired by literature, poetry, music, movies, video games, and more. And after that, I'll share a prompt for you to write your own reflection. Together, we'll explore what it means to be human. Every month, we'll walk a new path, taking a look at life, death, the universe, and everything in between. Thanks for coming along. I'm glad you're here. For more, visit eastontaverna.com or join me on Instagram at _everydayhuman. Hello everyone, welcome to the 44th episode of the Everyday Human. That's a lot of episodes so far, and we're only in the second month of the year. How cool is that? It is February 12th, and today's reflection is titled The Child Poet. And it is inspired by a poem from one of my favorite writers. And I told you I have many favorite writers, and I wasn't lying. A lot of them are included in this book. But today I'm speaking about Wendell Berry, and the poem that inspired today's reflection is called How to Be a Poet. So a little introduction for Wendell Berry, whose work I just came across a couple years ago, 3 years ago maybe. So I haven't been reading him for too long. I wish I have been, because he's got a lot to read, and I absolutely love it. But he is an American novelist, poet, essayist, environmental activist, and farmer. He's currently 91, and I believe is still writing. In his writing, he focuses on the importance of nature, our connection to it, and our obligation to care for it. He often criticizes industrialism and calls out how unnecessary and harmful much of the technology in our lives really is, addressing the negative impact it has on us as humans and on the planet. I just recently finished a short essay collection by him that's called Why I Am Not Going to Buy a Computer. It's a short book. It contains that essay as well as sort of the follow-up essay to that, which is called Feminism, the Body, and the Machine. And this was a fantastic read, just as relevant, if not more, today than it was when it was written, I think, in 1989, I think. Oh, no, 1990. Okay, that's when the essay first came out. All right. Yeah, so like I said, I first started reading him a couple of years ago, and I came across his work through his poem and poetry collection called The Peace of Wild Things, which is maybe some of his most popular or well-known work. And I think I use that poem as inspiration for another reflection when we get to On Nature in April. Anyhow, yeah, I quickly fell in love with his work. I've got collected poems by him, books of his essays, and I need to get into some of his novels soon. I haven't read any of those yet. I'm going to read an excerpt from the poem that inspired today's reflection, which again is titled How to Be a Poet, but I would encourage you to read the whole thing. It's not a very long poem, but it is a fantastic one that you should sit down in some peace and quiet and read and think about. All right, so here is the excerpt from that poem. Breathe with unconditional breath, the unconditioned air. Shun electric wire. Communicate slowly. Live a three-dimensioned life. Stay away from screens. Stay away from anything that obscures the place it is in. There are no unsacred places. There are only sacred places and desecrated places. And in my opinion, this poem is not just great for reading as advice or instructions on how to be a poet. It's so much more than the title might have you think. It is advice on how to live your life and separate yourself from the sort of rat race of modern living, the obsession and reliance on technology that has come to infiltrate every single part of our life from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep. And for some people, even while they're sleeping, no offense about these rings or bracelets that, you wear connected to technology when you're supposed to be resting and away from it all. Maybe there are some good things about those, but I don't see the point, and I think we're led to think that we need so much of this stuff that is just unnecessary, superfluous, gratuitous, and downright harmful even. All right, anyhow, let's get into the reflection. It is a curse not to grow old, but to grow up. If you place a child in nature, she will play unconditionally. She needs no screens to laugh or smile. Just the birds, the leaves, and the bugs. She needs no electric guitars to sing, just her voice. She needs no accounts or subscriptions or rewards programs to eat. She'll eat the kale from the garden and the wild onions from the field. She breathes the air and the air breathes her. The grass clings to her feet and she does not wipe it away. The sacred places of streams and forests and meadows are only made more sacred by her presence, never desecrated by plastic or trash or smoke of those grown up. She listens to the poetry of the wind and rain and stars and birds, and the words come to the silence of her mind, ready to be planted to grow into poems of her own. The child knows how to be a poet. She is the truest poet. May she ever grow old, but never grow up. And while this reflection was inspired by Wendell Berry's How to Be a Poet, it was also equally inspired by my daughter and how she interacts with nature and the innocence and connection she has regarding it. All right, so today's reflection is not quite a question for you. It's a little bit of a statement, but I would encourage you to write your thoughts anyway on what we've been talking about and reading here in this episode. And then, if you can, whenever you are able, spend a little bit of time outside without your phone, with no screens. If you have a smartwatch, leave it inside for a couple of minutes. And just observe and just be. Kind of let your mind wander and see how that goes. So today's reflection question reads as this. Let me remember to be a poet today by writing my poem here and now. And if you feel like writing a poem, this is not the reflection anymore, this is me talking. If you feel like writing a poem, go ahead and do it. And like Vonnegut said, do it even if it's a lousy poem. Who cares? All right, that's it for today, February 12th. I'll be back tomorrow, February 13th, with another reflection. Have a good one and take care.